Hello, my name is Lisa Wold. I am the author and creator of Piano Keys and the Piano Bench. This video is designed to give you an overall view of this teaching method. This method consists of what you see here, 3 volumes. Each volume has 8 chapters, and the kit of hands-on manipulative teaching tools that help the student to understand abstract qualities of reading music and understanding music. So volume 1 teaches all the rhythms, and not just the easy ones, but every rhythm that there is. It's introduced right away because I believe that very young children, as young as 5 and 6, can understand how these rhythms are used and how to count them if they're approached or taught properly. When I teach rhythm, I use balls and the metronome. And I also have this chart that's called, it lists all the rhythms, and it's called Metronome Exercise. When the student is learning his rhythms, we learn it in class, and then at home he can go home and he can watch the video. And all the videos of every activity, and there are 25 activities, are shown on the website. This is an example of what the videos volume 1 would look like. They go to the top and they find volume 1 videos if they're doing a particular activity in volume 1. There are 25 activities in all, and this is the chart that shows each activity, the name of the activity, what page and volume the activity is found in, and then they can watch the video on the website if they're doing that particular activity. The other chart I was going to show you is the playlist of all the compositions that are in the books, and this is the CD. It has all the compositions also. So if a student is working on a particular composition, he can listen to the CD, and it helps when they're learning that. So volume 1 has 7, volume 2 has this many, and volume 3 has quite a few, and there are 53 compositions in all. So these are just some of the highlights of what is, everything you see on this table is found in the bag, and I took it all out. There are two collections. One is called Rhythm and Composition Collection, and there's a small box with little tiny 1-inch note cards, rhythm cards, and these all are representing rhythms that are in 1-beat sizes. These also hold the slurs and the ties and the dynamics and the bar lines. When you're doing compositions, you lay out the rhythms on these puzzle mats that are right here, and well, I'll show you that in a little bit. The large box is where some of the longer or 2-beat rhythms, 3 and 4-beat rhythms, the dotted quarter and 8th note, along with the quarter with the 8th rest and the 8th note and the 16th notes. And then these cherry pieces of wood with a different color are representing notes that are in 6/8, 3/8, 9/8. The maple pieces are the ones that are in 3/4, 4/4, 2/4, 5/4. These are all the time signatures that there are in this kit. And then, so that's the Rhythm and Composition Collection. It's used a lot in volume 1 and volume 3 because there's quite a bit of composition that we use these rhythm squares with. And the other collection is called the Staff and Keys Collection. In the small box, there are these colored squares. I call these interval squares. There are whole steps and half steps, and there are sharps and flats and naturals that are used when the student builds the staff and the keys. So the staff and the keys are in here, and the white keys, the white piano keys, are right here. And you see there's letters on them, and they line these up on the black puzzle mat, and then when they're ready to learn how to read music, then they build the staff with these lines and these spaces. And the instructions, of course, are in the manuals and also in the videos. This box also has various note shapes. These are eighth notes and quarter notes and whole notes and half notes, and we put those on the staff as well. And this little compartment has all the Roman numerals, the small v and the large V, and the small 1 and the large 1 for uppercase and lowercase Roman numerals when you're identifying triads. And then right here there are the black keys, which are all labeled enharmonically. So for example, this black key has G sharp and A flat in it. And I introduced the black keys in volume 2 after I've talked about half steps and whole steps. Half steps and whole steps are introduced in volume 2 as well. Intervals are introduced in volume 2 because it's important that in volume 1, they're learning steps and skips. And then in volume 2, they learn intervals, half steps and whole steps, then sharps and flats, then the circle of fifths, and then after that, the 4 groups of pentascales, and then after that is the major scales and arpeggios. And then in volume 3, they will learn the minor scales and arpeggios, and then also they will learn inversions and transposing and alternate intervals. And so for each of those parts of theory, there are activities that go with that particular concept. And so oh yes, and the other thing that's very important while they're learning each concept, there is a list in the front inside cover of the book called Daily Drills. And these drills are the daily drills that they have to do with their parents. And if the teacher has one of those drills circled, that means the student needs to do it every day until the teacher crosses that drill off. Some of the drills are used with this, and this is the grand staff. And one drill, for example, is the teacher or the mother or father or babysitter, whoever is going to be the helper, is going to point to the lines or the spaces. This is the pointer that comes with the kit. And so the student will look at the line or space, and then he'll play the corresponding key. So this is very important to be done every day. The drill is very important. There are many drills that are done with the grand staff. The reason why I teach rhythms before I introduce the grand staff and reading music is because I feel it's important for the student to become very familiar with all the rhythms so that they don't have to struggle with counting when they're learning how to read music, because I think counting should be learned first so it's more automatic, and then this lines and the spaces become automatic, and then you put them 2 and 2 together, and then sight reading becomes a lot easier, and they can read music, more advanced music, a lot sooner than if some of the advanced rhythms are taught later on. I believe they should be taught right away, because my experience is that a 6-year-old even a 5-year-old can learn all the rhythms easily if they're taught this particular way with the ball and the metronome and these rhythm words and the drills. It just makes it a lot easier, and they're able to do it, so why not let them do it? That way they can play a lot of interesting pieces that they might want to write themselves, or find at the end of volume 1, they might want to play something that's popular. And popular music has a lot of syncopated rhythms, and if they've learned all these rhythms, they can play popular music fairly soon when after they've started taking piano lessons. So I believe that having some of these drills, which helps the student learn how to automate some of these skills, is very important. So as far as how long it takes to get through these 3 books, it varies from student to student, obviously. Volume 1 takes anywhere from 5 months to 7 months, depending on the student. And then Volume 2 can take anywhere from 2 months to 4 months. And then Volume 3, usually you can get through in about 8 months, because there's a lot of compositions in that one. And it takes a while to learn each one. But by the time the students are done with Volume 3, they can play, very complicated. You might have to zoom in on this particular piece of music to see the complex rhythms, but they're able to play any of these compositions after getting through Volume 3, which is usually after about 2.5 years of starting the methods. And it also depends on how young the student is when they start. Usually the younger ones go a little slower because they don't practice as much as the older students do. So the other thing is that this is the patent that is on this particular teaching method. And feel free to go to my website, and it's called mypianokeys.me, and take a look at each section and enjoy. And thanks for listening today. Bye.